All right, good morning. I am a little late. I'll hit these charts here in a second. Pour something to drink. All right, let's get after it. One moment here. There we go. All right, so we have ENA versus Tether. ENA versus Tether is going to be a buy. So it's going to be a long position from current price to 5056. All right, so ENA USDT, that's ENA versus Tether, ENA USDT. That is a crypto perpetual trade. You'll find it on Liquid Brokers. You can find that broker in the description to this video. Let's see, this is a 2.74 risk to reward ratio. 716, 4552, 192. Oh, man. Literally just rolled out of bed. That's why I was a few minutes late. My alarm went off on the right time 30 minutes ago. And, set another time and kind of get up 15 minutes early and didn't even hear it. 50, 56. Needless to say, I'm probably going to be a little slow firing off for a little bit because I am just fresh out of bed. So, pardon me, I will speed up over time. All right, here's the first call of the night. This is ENA USDT. It's a 15-minute confirmation, market execution buy. Entry price is 0.4716. Stop loss is 0.4592, 424 pips. Take profit is 0.5056 for 340 pips. And a risk reward ratio of 2.74. We just call that all right, so that's all we have to begin the night. It's 2:07, so our next opportunity in our market is at 2:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bitcoin is now up to 111,000. Decent rally so far. Check our fundamentals real quick. Is this actually flipped to buy yet? No, it's still considered neutral. Okay. All right, we're waiting on 2:15. Let's go ahead and check the news. Start with Forex Factory. No major news. We're still in the government shutdown right now, so news out for the U.S. dollar is going to be a little slow coming. Normally, we get some leading index information month over month coming out today. I doubt that's going to come out at all. Um, but no real major news for the day. It looks like we do have comments by the president of the German central bank. They call it the German Bubba. He's talking at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's an hour after the end of lunch for the New York Stock Exchange. But even that's not going to really move anything. So nothing of note here. All right, so positive futures in the US 30, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100. Gold is approaching the all-time high. Was that, I believe it crested like 43.30-ish. So a little short of the all-time high though. All right, so even on the UK 100, the French 40, down for the German 30, down for the Euro 50, up for the Japanese Nikkei 100. I believe that's an all-time high for the Japanese Nikkei 225. Hong Kong 50's up, Asian 200's up. And we got positive futures on all the major cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, and Solana. So should be a pretty positive day today. Even my altcoin portfolio is up. So yes, have reason to feel pretty positive right now. Oh, that's what I was missing. President Trump is supposed to do a major announcement tomorrow. So that might cause a decline in Bitcoin price. There's a gentleman who is being referred to as a Trump insider. I don't know why they're saying that, but he made a 191 million bet that Bitcoin would be shorted before Trump's announcement of 100% tariffs on China 2 weeks ago, and made $191 million off of it. He made another bet for $161 million. He's losing that right now because of this gain. But remember, his short was based off the announcement for tomorrow. So if he's correct again, it might be another shot across the bow of China or something else major that may cause this decline. Another kind of nugget, and it's really hasn't hit the news yet. I'm surprised it hasn't. Trump dropped a kind of weird picture concerning mortgages. And when you look up the icon that's at the back of this picture, you find out that essentially what it is he's planning to take Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are privately owned corporations by the U.S. government that deal with government loans, like for housing, and basically turn them into a publicly traded company, which means the United States government will be able to raise significant private capital to fund those housing loans. That could be a pretty significant source of income for the U.S. government, since they are the largest home lenders in the United States. So, it'll be pretty interesting to see whether or not that actually materializes or not. That would certainly be a boon for the price of Bitcoin. It will cause a rally in stablecoins as well. At least the ones that aren't bought by aren't supported fully by U.S. sovereign debt. Got about 30 seconds left to the quarter of the hour. And we do trade 328 different assets across different asset classes. These here: commodities, crypto, perpetual, and spot. Most major minor forex pairs, along with the exotics. Indices, which are basically world indexes. Futures and stocks. It's going to take a trading view about 3 minutes or so to go through all of these different assets. The only exception to this rule are futures, which are on a 10-minute time delay for the rest of the market. So right now it's 2:15. It's going to be about 2:18 before we know whether or not we're going to get anything for that time frame. But then on or around 2:25, we could also get some futures calls. So that's the pacing. So every 15 minutes, followed by another 10-minute follow-up for futures. We'll be going to about 4 a.m. Central Standard Time today for London. After that, we'll come back for the New York session from 7:30 in the morning to 10 a.m. in the morning. 7:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning will be for pre-market trading. Then you have the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange at 8:30 a.m. sharp. We're going to 10 a.m. because that is the overlap between the New York Stock Exchange and the London Stock Exchange. A lot of liquidity is normally where you hear a lot of your take profits for the day. It is possible to do so in the London session, but generally speaking, you get a lot of your setups during London, you get a lot of your take profits during New York. Still nothing just yet as we wait on TradingView to continue kind of cooking a little bit to show us what we have. In the meantime, we're still sitting on one call for the night. That's a buy on ENA versus Tether. All right, it's now almost 2:18 in the morning. Doesn't look like we're getting anything on the rest of the market for 2:15. Next opportunity to enter the market will be about 12 minutes from now. Again, we still have the possibility of futures calls in about 10 minutes. Until then, we wait. Good time to use the restroom. Grab something to drink. Grab a nice midnight snack. I'll see you guys in about 12 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue reading some more news. See if I can find any interesting nuggets that might help us navigate the evening. I guess it would help if I turned on my darn mic, wouldn't it? I'm doing all this talking and explaining things. My mic was on silent. So it's going to be one of those mornings. I'm really not awake yet. Right. So what I'll do is I'll re-explain what I was explaining. So I did not realize my mic was not present. So we were looking at Alice versus Tether. This is the call that it just called. It's calling a short. The reason why we would not take this trade is that we have blue on the top, aqua in the middle, gray on the bottom. That's consolidation. What we're looking for is aqua on the top, gray in the middle, blue on the bottom. That's an uptrend. Or blue on the top, gray in the middle, aqua on the bottom. That's a downtrend. In this case, we want a downtrend. It's calling a sell. Price is in the middle of the Asian range. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. We're in consolidation. And if you turn on the order blocks, what you see is significant resistance for it going higher and a lot of support for it staying where it is. So what it's likely to do is continuing to hover right above the 800 EMA, but below these levels of resistance. So it's not going anywhere. Now, the way the system works that we trade off of is based off of exponential moving averages. So that dotted red line that you're looking at, that's where current price is. Essentially, what you're looking for is this. Number one, a breakout of price above the top of the Asian range, and then a cross of EMAs at a lower high. So price goes above the Asian range, sets the high for the day, comes down, goes back up, sets a lower high, and that's where you enter on the lower high to sell back into the Asian range. Or price breaks below the Asian range, sets a low for the day, comes up, comes down to a low, to a higher low, has an EMA cross, and then you enter on a buy back into the Asian range. So overbought, oversold, reverse of price action. And what's going to happen when that happens is that the trading view will automatically basically give you the trade. So it's going to give you a stop loss. It's going to give you the price to 50% to take profit, which is this gray area. So you know that once price gets over that, you can take your stop loss and move it to your entry price for break even to make it a risk-free trade. And it's going to give you a take profit. And it's always going to draw this to where it's more than a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. That's proper risk management. What that means is every trade that you take is at least 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you could lose 66.67% of your trades and still be in profit. Now, most of the trades we call are more than 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and we win at about a 56% clip. So what that means is we compound very well. So if you take every trade and you're using proper risk to reward ratio and you're using proper trade management, which means you're not over leveraging, then you're going to compound your account. And as you compound your account, now you can safely leverage your trades more and be making more in the same type of trades with the same type of effort over time. This is how you trade. This is how you grow your account. This is how you can start taking withdrawals. So you might start out making, $20, $30 a day. Pretty simple. Then you start making a couple of $100 a day. Nice. Then that first day you start making 4 figures is fun. Start getting up to $10,000 to to 5 figures, it's fun. You start having 6-figure days, it can be fun. So starting from a very small account, and I recommend that people start with at least $500, on average, you're probably going to be able to do pretty well in that account if you take all the trades to the point where you're probably going to double that account in about a week and a half or so. That's how often we tend to win. Only if you don't over leverage. And then it just becomes a ball rolling downhill from there. To be safe, because we call a lot of trades, you can be conservative and just take 0.01, which is the smallest lot size you can take on most brokers. That's 10 cents per pip. And you'll do relatively well. Now, we call using a color-coded system. We have green trades for regular Forex pairs. We have yellow trades for exotic currencies. We have blue trades for cryptocurrency spot, purple trades for cryptocurrency perpetuals, red trades for commodities. This is natural gas, US and UK oil, silver, platinum, gold, and palladium. Indices like the US 30, the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100. Then you have orange trades, and these are futures and stocks. Stocks, I don't think we had a stock called since like late March. They're just very rare. Stocks are a little bit more stable than the rest of the markets. So they don't really move in ways where you have like changes in EMAs for the most part. If you're in an uptrend, you're typically in an uptrend. If you're in a downtrend, you're typically in a downtrend. You don't really get a lot of reversals of actions unless something very bad is going wrong at a company. So that's what we're looking for right now. It's now 2:40 in the morning. About 5 minutes from now, we'll be getting the next opportunity to enter the market. No calls on futures. We'll go from there. Bitcoin does appear to be down about 140 points from where it was when we were just looking at it. About 170 points actually. But it's still up 25.74 for the day, which is a nice, significant move. And it is broken to the top of the Asian range. So what we'll be looking for is for it to have a high of the day. It has hit a high at 111,445.67. It could push higher than that. Once it gives us a solid top, we'll be looking for a lower high and then for price to come back down into the Asian range. That'll give us an opportunity to short Bitcoin if it happens. Now, it could just take off on us. A way you can tell what you're looking at here is, number one, price on Bitcoin is still technically in consolidation on 15-minute. Blue on the top, aqua in the middle, gray on the bottom. However, price is broken to the top of the Asian range, and there is space between the 5 EMA, the yellow line, and the red EMA, the 13 EMA. What that means is that buyers have control of the market right now. And the further these two lines are apart, the stronger the dominance of that party. So right now, buyers are growing in strength on Bitcoin on the 15-minute. As you can see, once you had the cross of the EMAs, the space between the yellow and the red kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If we go down in time frame, you can kind of see the same thing. Right now, price is moving relatively sideways. At the very least, price will come down and retest the 50 EMA and may continue going up. Yeah, price basically has not moved in a while. Been in that same range. All right, about 2 minutes to 2:45. Went a little bit longer, and we should get some more calls, hopefully. That is the goal. Now, I should note I am extremely sleepy right now, so I'm going to be a trooper and try and push my way to 4 a.m. Should be able to make it, but I am going to proactively go on mute on the very unlikely chance that I fall asleep. I don't want you to hear me snoring until I wake myself awake. I got a few tricks to kind of help me with that right now, but man, I am tired. Been working out a lot lately, so my body is very sore and wants to sleep to recover, and I need to be up right now. All right, 2:48 in the morning. London calls for 2:45. Next opportunity in the market will be at 3 a.m. That is the top of the hour. It's also the 4-hour candle for the crypto market. That's normally when we start seeing some nice moves, one way or the other, on cryptocurrency. All right, so a little under 4 minutes left to go to the top of the hour. Again, it's going to be the 4 hour candle for cryptocurrency. It's normally when you get some type of moves. But right now, we have a breakout to Bitcoin to the top of the Asian range. What I would expect is around 3 p.m., we're going to see some type of retracement towards the top of the Asian range, which means that Bitcoin may drop back to break even, but we shall see. All right, 3 a.m. Central Standard Time in the morning. No real movement yet. We'll know about 2.5 minutes whether we're going to get any signals. I don't anticipate anything for 3 a.m., which means we're probably looking at a pretty slow start to the morning, which is fine. We should expect some consolidation up until Tuesday anyway, when we have what should be a second week in a row. We have a major announcement coming out of the White House. So we'll see what we end up with here. All right, so definitely nothing new for the top of the hour. Next opportunity in the markets at 3:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, a little under 6 minutes from now. About a minute and a half left to go to the quarter of the hour, 3:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, let's see what we've got here. No new calls, it looks like. We got futures calls in about 7 minutes, possibly at 3:25 a.m. It was about to turn 3:18, so no new signals on the market. Next opportunity to enter the markets at 3:30. That's the half of the hour. We're now about 15 minutes past the 4-hour candle for cryptocurrency. Just complete consolidation from current price. Nothing has moved. Slow news day today. The move that it has moved already, it's already taking place. So I think we're pretty much at highs for the day right now, barring something extraordinary that we haven't heard about yet. Bitcoin probably won't cross 112 today. Okay, so last week we entered a trade on Japanese Nikkei 225. You can go ahead and move that trade to entry price from stop loss. It's for 184,534 pips. That's going to hit take profit probably sometime this week. Congratulations for those that took that trade. So it looks like Bitcoin is taking a small little dive. It's down another 100 points or so. So it's definitely following what I thought might happen, which is that following the 3 o'clock hour, which is the 4-hour candle for cryptocurrency. Because price broke above the Asian range, it's going to fall closer to the top, if not into the Asian range for the day. So we'll see. Not enough time has passed to really see what it's going to do. And we may not get to see that by 4 a.m. when we close for the night, but that's what I expect to see today. So first test is going to be a retest of the 800. So a decline of about another 600 points to see if it can stay above 110,500. If not, then a retest of the 50 EMA. Breaks past that, it's definitely going to fall to the Asian range. And I'm looking at least a 50% retracement of this candle right here, which would bring us to about 100,600, 109,600. So about a 1,500 point drop from current price. So no new futures calls either. Next ticker is a little under 2.5 minutes from now at 3:30 in the morning, the half of the hour. All right, here we go. It's the half of the hour. See what we get. It's going to take about 3 minutes or so for TradingView to get through all the assets that we do trade. There's the Bitcoin's pushed higher, 2,700 points and climbing. Still in that consolidation, though. It hasn't broke off the high of the day. So I don't think there's any reason to get excited just yet. We'll see. If it breaks structure, then we can have a different conversation altogether. At any rate, it's now 3:33, which means we probably don't have any new market calls for the 3:30 time frame. Futures calls in 7 minutes at 3:40 a.m. Central Standard Time. The next ticker at 3:45 a.m. Central Standard Time as we advance through the London session. Let's see. No. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So we do have a break of the day. So we have a new high for the day at 111,506 even. So we may get an additional breakout for Bitcoin. See what this end up looking like. Still pushing high. All right, 3:35 in the morning, so no new calls from the market. About 4 minutes left to get calls on futures. I'd be really surprised if that's going to be the new high for the day. I think it's going to probably push a little higher than that, somewhere between now and the New York session at 7:30. I don't think we're going to get any crazy breakouts though. I still would be highly surprised if it breaks 112. Let's take a look at the order blocks and at least see what's going on here. Yeah, there's a sell order block right above current price at 111.8. There's one right above that as well. So yeah, price isn't going anywhere. It's not breaking through all of that. They'll stay between these two levels. Now without some crazy influx of liquidity. One of the reasons I like using Poseidon, the fact that price action has not crested at 111,679, 925, which is the high of the day on Poseidon, tells me it's going to blow off this top. I just don't see it going much further than that because of the order blocks. And maybe I'm being a little biased here. Let's turn on the order blocks and go up in time frame, and maybe I'll see something different. So we'll start with the daily. And now it's the same thing. One at 117.4. So it's definitely not breaking through that. It's already in one zone on the 4 hour. 2 hours in the midst of multiple zones. It's bumping up against a 2-hour order block at 111,800, and it hasn't even gotten there for the day yet. Then we have another one way up here at 120, but at higher time frames, we know we have order blocks before then, so it has zero chance of getting up there right now. Yeah, it's pretty much stuck at current price. All right, coming up on a little less than 4 minutes left to go to the quarter of the hour, 3:45 in the morning, Central Standard Time. So we got the ticker at 3:45. We have a ticker at 4 a.m. We will be back for the New York session at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time if we get nothing at 4 a.m. Okay. Hmm. Right, a little over a minute left to go to the quarter of the hour. Hopefully, we get some action before 4. Only call of the night is a buy on ENA versus Tether. I believe the formal name of the coin is Athena. It's basically used as a governance coin to purchase um, stable coins like USDC, Tether, things of that nature. It moves relatively slowly, but it is a smooth movement. It's less volatile than most other cryptocurrencies. So if you can determine a trend, it almost always hits take profit, buy or sell. All right, it's now 3:45 in the morning. Again, you have about 328 different assets across multiple asset calls, classes that we have alerts for. So it's going to take TradingView about 3 minutes to go through all of those on the 15-minute time frame to determine if we have any opportunities to enter the market. We'll evaluate each one to determine the trend. If the trend exists, we'll take the trade. If you were on the call for London for last Friday, then you took the massive trade on Japanese Nikkei 225. Believe it's 184,000 plus pips. We're significantly into profit on that trade. I'll show it to you now. So congratulations if you took it. It's looking really good right now. Two minutes in and nothing. One more minute we should know if we're getting any calls here. Then 7 minutes to futures calls. After that, we have one last ticker at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see what we end up getting here. Get up and put this tea back in the refrigerator. I'm not going to drink any more of it. We get done. I'm getting ready to get back in this bed to sleep ahead of the New York session. Oh, I'm sore. Yes. Oh. Let's see what else we got. So nothing new for the quarter of the hour. Next opportunity to enter the market will be in about 5 minutes for futures. And then at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for the rest of the market, which just so happens to be the 4-hour candle. So we may get some calls there. If we do not, we'll call it in the morning until 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time for the pre-market open of the New York Stock Exchange. It's under 6 minutes left to the top of the hour, 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. 4 minutes left to go. Okay, we've got action. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. We've got two calls. The first is on Great British Pound versus Danish Krona. This is a long. Going to take that to 8.6217. on. There we go. Four. And this is a exotic Forex currency. You'll find this on both liquid brokers and LHFX. Both of those brokers are in the description to this video. This is going to be a 15-minute confirmation market execution buy. Risk to reward ratio is 3.46. Let's see, entry price 8.5971. Stop loss of 8.59 even. That's for 71 pips. Take profit is 8.6217. That's going to be for 246 pips. And here's your second call of the night. Great British Pound versus Danish Krone, 15-minute confirmation. Market execution buy. Entry price is 8.5917. Stop loss is 8.5900 for 71 pips. Take profit is 8.6217 for 246 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 3.46. Also appears we have a call on UK 100. This is a short. Going to take that on a sell to 93.1509. Actually, we're not going to take this. And the reason being is that the 200's over the 50. So this is a consolidation. So take a closer look at this. This is likely to be a buy, not a sell. It's not breaking through all these order blocks to get to RTP, which is way down here. So with that, it looks like we're done for the evening. I'll see you guys at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time from New York. Cheers.